This video is brought to you with the help of Flicker Free by Digital Anarchy. More on that in just a second. We shot this video over a year ago, but the problem was that the flicker from our headlights in the tunnels was so bad that the footage was pretty much unusable. Just a heads up, there might be a seizure warning here for a second. I did just about everything that I could to get rid of this flicker, and it wasn't until an internet search introduced me to Flicker Free from Digital Anarchy that this video was even possible to be made. So a huge thank you to them for making such an awesome product, and we will have a full review video of Flicker Free on the channel really soon. Now, onto the video. If you've been following our adventures for a while, you know that we love canyoneering. So when our cousin An asked if we wanted to go rappelling into a mine shaft, you know that we had to say yes. Please note that in this video, we are joined with a highly experienced group of both canyoneers and cavers. This is definitely not something that you should attempt if you don't know what you're doing. We unfortunately are not able to disclose the name or location of this mine because it is located on private property and we were invited by the owner. But just know that this mine is very old and it has not been in operation since 1957. After winding our way through twisted corridors, the real adventure was about to begin because we came to the first rappel. We would be dropping over 200 feet into complete darkness with only our headlights to light the way. We were only able to have one person on the rope at a time, and the rappel had these little tiny trap doors that you had to squeeze through. After you squeezed through two of these doors, you could no longer hear the people above or below you, and you were completely alone in the dark. This is definitely the type of scene that horror movies dream of, and you can bet that if I heard a voice on my way down this rope, I would be flying back up out of the mine shaft. Finally, I had reached the bottom of the mine shaft, and now it was just a matter of waiting for everyone else to get down so we could regroup. Going into mines like these definitely gives us a huge amount of respect for the miners back in the day. These conditions are super tough and they were doing it in way darker conditions than we are. And what is better than one 200-foot rappel into a mine shaft? How about two? Even though we were kind of used to the whole rappelling into a mine shaft thing at this point, this one took it to a little bit of a new level. The second shaft was a little bit tighter, it seemed like there was more dust in the air, and it also had a lot more missing boards on the walls. I don't think that it added any danger necessarily, but it definitely took the creepiness up a notch. We are done rappelling at this point, and we are somewhere around 500 feet underground. It was absolutely amazing to see all of the structures that the miners had built to both stabilize the mine and all of the chutes that they had made to transfer the material from one level to another. And we also found this Indiana Jones inspired minecart track that ended up plunging over the edge of a cliff. Several members of our group had been to this mine before, and they know that if you want to get to the good stuff, you need to descend even deeper into the earth. And by good stuff, I don't mean this rope swing we found, or this interesting relic here. As we dropped through this small chute, we reached an even lower level of the mines. You You definitely need to watch your step around here because we came across several vertical shafts, and I don't think OSHA was a big thing back then. Ever since I was a small kid, I wanted to recreate that Indiana Jones minecart scene. So when we found some of the tunnels, you know we had to take them for a ride. This track was really long and it was full of twists and turns. And yes, if you're wondering, it is as fun as it looks. After a small derailing incident, we made our way towards the deepest part of the mine. We would have gone even deeper, but we hit water. It's hard to tell exactly how deep we were, but we're guessing that it was somewhere around 800 feet. I'm not exactly sure why, but when we got to the deepest part, the temperature shot up and it was actually quite warm. No one could figure out why the temperature shot up like that, so we all just figured that we got too close to the center of the earth and started to head back. The challenging part about heading back is that you have to climb up those two mine shafts that we rappelled down. This was rough, and I'm not even gonna pretend that I wasn't wheezing as I clawed my way back up towards the surface. Luckily, we were using a device called a kroll that was attached to our chest. It held onto the rope, so if we slipped, we wouldn't fall all the way back down to the bottom and it would catch us. Much like the way down, we could only have one person on the rope at a time. This meant that you had to climb the ladders, or you had to stem the walls in sections where the ladders were missing, and you had to do it all by yourself. Once you got to the top, you would pull the rope up and down 3 times, and that is the only way that you could communicate that you made it to the people down below. This was seriously one of the most physically challenging things that we've done in a long time, and I was celebrating making it to the top until I realized that I still had 200 feet to go. Luckily, as I mentioned before, the upper shaft is in better condition. So even though our arms were completely blasted by this point, the ladders were in good shape and it helped us get all the way up to the top. I can't begin to tell you how relieved I was when I reached the top of the second climb and I saw Aaron and V. It really is hard to believe that the miners most likely did that climb several times a day and without any safety gear at all. After hiking our way around a couple more bends, we could start to see the light at the end of the tunnel and we were gifted this beautiful sunset. We would like to send a huge shout out to 𝐿𝐀𝐓𝐂𝐇. If this type of adventure seems like something you want to do, you should definitely hit them up. We will have a link to them in the description below, as well as a link to Digital Anarchy where you can check out Flickr free. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.